A warm welcome to all my students. In today's class, we shall discuss an interesting chapter from history. South India. Let's learn in this lesson the growth of Shatavahanas, reign of Gautamiputra Shatakarni, Kadambas, reign of Mayuravarma, establishment of Gangas and their contributions. First, let's see about South India. The Vindhya mountains separate North and South India. The area between Vindhya mountains and Kanyakumari in the south is called South India or Deccan region. So now did you understand, children? Which place is called as South India? The area between the Vindhya mountains and Kanyakumari in the south is called South India or Deccan region. If you see here, the Shatavahanas, Kadambas, Gangas, Chalukyas, Rashtrakutas and Pallavas have been the important dynasties of this region. In ancient India, if you see, the Shatavahanas, Kadambas, Gangas, Chalukyas, Rashtrakutas and Pallavas were the important dynasties. Now, first, let's discuss about Shatavahanas. So, in this module, we'll be learning about Shatavahanas. The Shatavahanas were the first to establish a dynasty in the Deccan and settle in the land between river Godavari and river Krishna. Shatavahanas were ruling modern-day Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and Maharashtra. The Shatavahanas originally were the vassals of Chandragupta Maurya and paid tribute to him. Then Simuka became independent in 2020 BCE and established his capital in Srikakulam. Gautamiputra Satakarni was a prominent king of the Satavahana dynasty. He expanded his kingdom to include Konkan, Berar, Saurashtra, Malwa and many new areas. Gautamiputra Shatakarni had given titles such as Trisamudrotaya Pitavahana and Shatavahana Kulayasha Pratishtapanakara. I repeat again the titles Trisamudrotaya Pitavahana and Shatavahana Kulayasha Pratishtapanakara. So these two were the titles which were given to Gautamiputra Satakarni. He had defeated the Sakas and begun the Shalivahana Saka era. And this is the Indian official calendar. The last king of this dynasty was Sri Yanya Shatakarni. During his time, the empire stood devastated on account of continual attacks by Shakas. The king was supreme during the Satavahana rule, but for purpose of administration, the kingdom had been divided into provinces called Janapadas. Officers were appointed to look after the Janapadas. Self-governing institutions looked after the cities and villages. Discrimination on the basis of the Varna system did not exist in this society, and women had status and held high offices. People of different occupations like farmers, merchants, goldsmiths, fishermen, carpenters, weavers and medicine men had formed occupational associations. These associations later emerged as commercial and trade organizations. If you see the places like Bharuch, Nasik, Kalyan, Bhatkal were the foreign trade places. The Satavahanas followed Vedic religion, but they believed in harmony and encouraged other religions like Buddhism and Jainism. The Satavahanas promoted art, literature, and education. Literature was created in Prakrit language, which was the language of both scholars and common people. Gata Saptashati was written by King Hala was in this period. The King Hala was belonging to Shatavahana's dynasty. This period also saw the creation of the paintings at Ajanta and Amaravati. Many temples, viharas and chaityalayas were built during this time. The Banavasi merchant Bhuttapala built a Chaitya Griha at Karle. Bhuttapala built a Chaitya Griha at Karle. Now, let's recap about Shatavahanas. So, Shatavahanas were the first to establish a dynasty in the Deccan. The Satavahanas settled in the land between river Godavari and river Krishna. The Satavahanas originally were the vassals of Chandragupta Maurya. So, Satavahanas were paying tribute to Chandragupta Maurya for the land. Simuka became independent in 2020 BC and established his capital in Srikakulam. Gautamiputra Satakarni was a prominent king of the Satavahana dynasty. He had defeated the Sakas and begun the Shalivahana Saka era. This Shalivahana Saka era was based on the victory of Gautamiputra Satakarni with the association of Vikramaditya. The last king of this dynasty was Sri Yanya Satakarni. The king was supreme during the Satavahana rule, but for the purpose of administration, the kingdom had been divided into provinces called Janapadas. There were no discrimination on the basis of Varna system, and women had high status and they were holding high offices. People of different occupations like farmers, merchants, goldsmiths, fishermen, carpenters, weavers and medicine men had formed occupational associations. The trade centers were Nasik, Kalyan, Bharuch and Bhatkal. The Satavahanas were following Vedic tradition. Literature was created in Prakrit language. The King Hala of Shatavahana dynasty had written Gata Saptashati in this period. Now let's move on to Kadambas. The first dynasty to be established in Karnataka was that of the Kadambas. The period between 325 to 540 AD. Mayura Sharma was the founder of this dynasty, and Banavasi, which is presently located in Uttara Kannada district, was its capital. The legend states that Mayura Sharma adopted the Kshatriya way of life and became Mayura Varma after being insulted by the Pallava king. As Mayura Sharma was insulted by Pallava king, he took it as a revenge and defeated Pallava king. Mayura Varma defeated the Pallavas in a war and established the Kadamba Empire. Mayura Varma is remembered as the pride of all Kannadigas. Under the Kadamba rule, there was political unity for around 300 years. Provincial officers looked after the provinces. The royal priest, ministers and military generals had a significant role in administration of the kingdom. The main source of income was land revenue. The main occupations in the society were those of carpenters, weavers, oil extractors, goldsmiths, potters and blacksmiths. Agriculture and trade were encouraged greatly. The people followed Varnashrama. The society gave great importance to patriarchy and undivided family. The Kadambas were the followers of Vedic culture. They also encouraged Jainism and Buddhism in their kingdom. Jain temples and Jain scholars at Hanagal and Puligere received charity to promote the spread of Jain culture. Buddhism was also followed in the Kadamba kingdom. Ajanta and Banavasi were the two important centers of Buddhism. The temples became the centers of celebration. Prakrit and Sanskrit received encouragement and became the languages of the royal court. The languages of the common people was Kannada. The common people language was Kannada. The ancient Halmidi inscription, which is the first inscription available in Kannada, shows the characteristics of the Kannada language used in the 5th century. The foundation for architecture in Karnataka has been laid by the Kadambas by building many temples and basadis in Banavasi. They built educational centers like Agraharas, Brahmapuris and Gatikas. The main Agraharas of residential schools were found in Talagunda and Belagavi. Children, now let's revise about Kadambas. The first dynasty to be established in Karnataka was that of the Kadambas. Mayura Sharma was the founder of this dynasty and Banavasi was its capital. Mayura Sharma is remembered as pride of all Kannadigas because he defeated Pallava king and established Kadamba dynasty. Provincial officers looked after the provinces. The royal priest, ministers and military generals had a significant role in administration of the kingdom. The main source of income was land revenue. The people followed Varnashrama and the Vedic culture. Jain temples and Jain scholars at Hanagal and Puligere received charity to promote the spread of Jain culture. Ajanta and Banavasi were the two important centers of Buddhism. Prakrit and Sanskrit became the languages of the royal court. The language of the common people was Kannada. The foundation for architecture in Karnataka has been laid by the Kadambas. They built educational centers like Agraharas, Brahmapuris and Gatikas, and also many temples and basadis were built by them. Children, you would have understood about Kadambas now. Now let's move on to Ganga dynasty. The Ganga dynasty was ruling from 350 AD to 1004 AD. The dynasty of Ganga rulers plays a significant part in the early history of Karnataka. The founders of the Ganga dynasty are the descendants of Ikshvaku dynasty. They ruled from Kuvalala, Talakkadu and Manyapura, that is today's Manne in Nelamangala, Bangalore district, Bangalore rural district. The Gangawadi kingdom was ruled by 27 kings. King Dadiga was the first ruler, also known as Konguni Varma. King Durvinita, who ruled for a long period, was famous as a brave warrior and scholar. To strengthen his kingdom, he gained control of Punnata. The Nallala copper inscription reveals that for the purpose of irrigation, King Durvinita constructed many lakes. He was a lover of literature, wrote creative works in Sanskrit and Kannada, and translated the Vadakatha of Gunadhya from Prakrit to Sanskrit. The king had a council of ministers who supervised different branches of administration. The administration in the villages was very systematic and the village committees looked after land revenue, justice, sanitation and defense. The main occupation was agriculture. Trade relations with other countries were good. The society was patriarchal and divided into different yet interdependent sects and caste. Social values like honesty, loyalty, bravery, and patience were prominent among the people, and the practice of an undivided family was common. The education centers were chaityalayas, temples, matas, and agraharas. Brahmapuris and Gatikas were for higher education. Talakadu, Shravanabelagola, Bankapura, and Peruru have been named as centers of learning in Ganga dynasty. Jainism flourished during the rule of Gangas. Pujyapada, Vajranandi, Ajit Sena, and others popularized this religion. Further, a 58-foot monolithic idol of Gomateshwara was installed at Shravanabelagola and made it a famous center. The Maha Mastakabhisheka of Gomateshwara takes place once in every 12 years, even to this day. Art and architecture were encouraged during Ganga dynasty. The Kapileshwara temple at Manne, Pataleshwara temple at Talakadu, Maruleshwara temple at Talakadu, Kolaramma temple at Kolar, Nagareshwara temple at Begur, and the statue of Gomateshwara at Shravanabelagola is also an example of their architecture. The tall pillars called Manastambas and Brahma Manastambas has been the significant contribution of the Gangas. The Ganga kings were lovers of literature and encouraged Sanskrit, Prakrit and Kannada languages, and the works written in these languages were The Ganga kings were lovers of literature and encouraged Sanskrit, Prakrit and Kannada languages. It was during this period that Madhva too wrote the commentary on Dattaka Sutra. Durvinita had translated Gunadhya's Vadakate from Prakrit to Sanskrit, and he wrote Shabdavatara in Sanskrit. Sri Purusha has written Gajasastra. Shiva Madhva has written Gajashtaka, which was in Kannada, and Hemasena has written Raghava Pandaviya. Nemichandra has written Dravyasara Samgraha, and Vadiba Simha has written Gadya Chintamani and Shatra Chudamani. Chaunda Purana was written by Chaundaraya. So these were the literatures of Ganga dynasty. Children, now let's recap about Gangas. The founders of the Ganga dynasties are the descendants of Ikshvaku dynasty. They ruled from Kuvalala, Talakadu and Manyapura, which is present days Manne in Nelamangala and the rural district of Bangalore. The king had a council of ministers who supervised different branches of administration. The administration in the villages were very systematic, and the village committees looked after land revenue, justice, sanitation and defense. The society was patriarchal and divided into different yet interdependent sects and caste. Talakadu, Shravanabelagola, Bankapura and Peruru were the famous centers of learning. Jainism flourished during Ganga's rule. A 58-foot monolithic idol of Gomateshwara was installed at Shravanabelagola. Beautiful temples and basadis like the Kapileshwara temple at Manne, Pataleshwara and Maruleshwara temples at Talakad, Kolaramma temple at Kolar, Nagareshwara temple at Begur were built during this time. Apart from that, the literatures like the Madhva has written commentary on Dattaka Sutra. Madhva has written commentary on Dattaka Sutra. Durvinita has written the Sanskrit work Shabdavatara and translated Gunadhya's Vadakate into Sanskrit. Sri Purusha has written Gajashastra and Shivamadava has written Gajashtaka, which was a Kannada work. Poet Hemasena wrote Raghava Pandaviya. Vadibasimha wrote Gadya Chintamani and Shatra Chudamani, whereas Nemichandra has written Dravyasara Samgraha and Chaundarya wrote Chaunda Purana, which were the famous literatures during Ganga's period. Children, you would have understood about Shatavahanas, Kadambas and Gangas. Go through this video more than once. Read the textbook. You can refer the page number 69 in your textbook, that is chapter number 9. Learn properly, and I'll be giving you the homework and notes in the PDF form. Write the notes in your workbook and do the homework in the homework notebook. Thank you, children. We'll meet you in the next class.